Alright, I think it's time for an update about what's happening with the 4-cycle mini hit and miss. I got some parts made this past week and a half. I've had some parts modified, and it's coming along. First thing I had done was the flywheel. See, it's only about an inch and a quarter tall, where it used to be, it used to be up to there about, just because of the fins. And just taking all those extra fins off really gave me a lot of space in the shaft to use. It did lighten it a little bit, and I kind of worry about that, but if it needs more weight, I can always use the flywheel from the 2-stroke hit-miss engine. That didn't work very well, so I have that nice big heavy flywheel if I need it. Some other parts I got made were the flyweight mounting hub, which screws onto the shaft. It's got threads there. 2 flyweights, the governor spool, and this is just the original bushing that went on the shaft. I'll show you how it's all going to fit together now. Okay. You have the motor on the shaft. There's the flywheel. You get it seated in the key there. There. Let's see. Got 1 washer. Bushing. Fits pretty snug over the shaft. Governor spool, which fits snug on the bushing, but slides easily. Another washer, and the flyweight mounting point. And this acts as the nut to hold the flywheel on. That's the purpose of this bushing here, is just to transfer the pressure from here down to the flywheel. And the governor spool still moves just fine. Okay. Have that. Our 2 flyweights will be mounted like this. 1 there. 1 there. These are just roughly machined. I'm going to drill the hole and round these out later. Governor spool right there. How it's going to be set up is each flyweight is going to have a small pin, probably 1/8 inch steel round rod, which will stick out to about, let me see, a little point here. Stick out from the weight, probably about this point here. They'll be below the governor spool, so when they're in this position, the fully closed position, the governor spool will be lowered. When they fly out, the pins will push the governor spool up, just like a lawnmower governor. Now, the governor spool doesn't have to have a lot of travel. I'm looking to just get about 1/4 inch of travel, and that's about all I need. The flyweights will have a spring in between them, which will draw them back together once the engine slows down. The pivoting arm, which is what will be riding on the governor spool up here, that'll be spring loaded, so it'll push the governor spool back down all the way. And that's that's basically what the function is going to be. I don't have to worry about taking these out to a machine shop to have them drilled. I can drill them here on the little drill press. Can round these out on the grinder. Not a big deal. Everything's aluminum. The dimensions for the governor weights are dimension from bottom to very top is 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches across. The seat seat here is a 1/2 inch deep, 1/2 inch across, and these are each 1/4 inch wide. These 2 posts, and 1/2 inch thick. If I find that these are too heavy, I can either cut portion of the bottom off, or have them milled to be thinner to reduce weight, or I can just add a tighter spring between them so they don't fly out as easily. Dimensions on the governor spool are it's 1 inch long, 1 inch in diameter. It's recessed. This part here is recessed about. It wasn't really too accurate. It's about between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. I haven't actually measured it, so I don't know for sure. The hole drilled through is 7/16. That's the size of the bushing here. The mounting hub. Dimensions on the mounting hub are 2 inches across, 1 inch wide, 1/2 inch wide on the parts where the 2 flyweights will attach. The hole is a 3/8 24. It's a 3/8 and 24 inch, 24 thread count. It's the recess here for the governor flyweight is a 1/2 inch, and that is also 1/2 inch wide, right here. So not very. I don't know. It's kind of large compared to the rest of the engine. I just made it large just to be easier to make. I mean, the machine shop I'm having this done at is the one at the school that I go to, so they're all students there. They're not professionals. Yeah. They're clearly not professionals. I had them try to make me a new one of these bushings here because I had lost this one. I found it now, but I lost it when I was having to make it. It's 7/16 inch diameter. It's steel, but you can see how thin-walled it is. In the light here, you can see how thin-walled it is. They tried to make one out of steel, but I guess they messed up. It got too hot, and it seized from the drill bit, and it wrapped it around, and it almost exploded it, I guess you could say. The way they were doing this, which I don't agree with, they put it on the lathe, they turned it down to 7/16 inch diameter, and then they drilled the hole. They were trying to drill a hole with such a thin wall there. They originally started out with a 1/2 inch diameter steel rod. What I would have done is drilled the hole through that, and then put it on the lathe and turn it down. But I don't know. Maybe a machinist that's watching out there can tell me which way is better. I am going to use this one. This one's just fine now. And so that's it. That's what's going on. Make a video update later.